Okay.
We got to
Okay.
get through
Okay.
this.
I will. Okay. So Crosby
Are
for
you recording?
yes.
Okay,
You
good.
give me Boldy, McTavish, and Stamkos, and I will give you Crosby and who? Who do you want in that second spot? Because I can see you're
I told
intrigued.
you, I don't want to shrink my roster. I have so many waiver claims already. I have Atu Ratu on my team
It's
and
not that
Taylor
bad.
Radish.
Okay, Radish like
I
leads the
don't want
Rangers
another.
in goals. I don't. It's not that bad. It
He's
could be
averaging
worse.
1.9 and
Okay.
leading the
Okay.
Rangers
Okay.
in
Okay.
goals
Okay. 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 Okay.
is not saying much.
Boldy, McTavish. Okay, Boldy and Stamkos for. I got nothing. Never mind. We're not making a deal.
Why doesn't want anyone want Shane Pinto?
It has nothing to do with the fact that he's shooting like 40%. I think they're just being
Hmm.
racist.
I started to get assists though.
That won't last. You know they have Ridley Gregg on the top power play?
I did. I was watching a Sens game a couple weeks ago, and I saw that, and I was like, why would this be the case? And then they scored, and I was like, oh, okay, fair enough, I guess.
He like is not doing anything on it though. So, all right,
Yeah.
welcome back to episode 30. What's it?
And
37?
live from New York, it's Saturday night.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
We are doing that.
What episode are we on?
We were told to
30,
do that.
39, 38.
I don't know. Who cares?
That's right. Nice alpha mindset.
That's
there.
all you had.
That's all
that
I
was
had.
your whole intro. That's
Yeah.
it.
I'm not. You
All right, let
usually
me
are
get to
doing the
Canucks.
intro, so
Yeah, I am. I don't know why you stole it. I'll talk about the Canucks real quick. Let me talk about the Canucks like I do. How many games? Who did we play in the time since we last recorded?
did
So
you
we played
just
two
do
games over
a
the
video?
weekend. I did. Yeah. No. Well, I know who we played over the weekend. I'm just my brain's. Oh yeah, we lost to Chicago. Yeah. Yeah. We also beat Nashville. You know, we have past 9 games. We've lost one, lost one, lost one, lost. We haven't had a streak of 2
I love when
in a
that
while.
happens.
I don't. Over the weekend they played really well though, and they played well against Chicago. But Spencer Knight is just the goat.
Yeah.
I mean,
Insane game.
The Canucks really do seem like they are playing well recently, and I think they were the better team against Colorado yesterday. But it was kind of the difference between them having a well-rested goalie and us having a goalie who started literally the night before. Also, it's their starter versus our backup who's on no rest. Hey, look at this card I got from Tim Hortons.
Well, let's see.
It's uh, it's
Co-stars.
holographic.
Nice. Wait, that's sick.
Yeah. Anyway,
Acolyte Etoile.
that was in my pocket. I didn't want it in my pocket anymore.
It's probably worth a cool, clean $1.
Yeah, well, maybe less. It's a Tim Hortons card, but it's pretty cool. I don't really care about card quality. I just like opening them, and it looks cool. So
I like the
take it.
holographic ones. We need to bring that back for like upper deck stuff.
Anyway, Canucks played well, but they're not playing well enough to get over 500. They're just sitting at 500 currently, 8-1. I mean, still they're doing well considering they have so many injuries still too. And Quinn Hughes isn't at his best, and Elias Pettersson isn't at his best. But you know who is at his best right now? Drew O'Connor. Drew O'Connor, low-key our best forward over the past couple weeks.
He is the core.
He kind of is. He has 7 points in his past 6 games. Scored a shorty yesterday. He really turned it around. He really turned his season around. He looks very good right now. It's kind of fun to see. I was shitting on him a lot at the start of the season, like first 6 games, and then after that, before the points even came in, I was thinking, okay, wait, he kind of looks good. He's kind of figuring it out. Him and Ratu, they look good together. And then they started scoring, and I have video proof now. I can say that, and I have video proof because I said it in my videos before they started scoring. So that's nice. I'm glad that I'm not lying, and I have proof that I'm not lying. I liked them together. I still like them together. They look good. DeBrusk is currently on that line, on that third line. He scored each of the past 2 games. 3 of his 4 goals, no, 4 of his 5 goals this season have been on the power play. So he's a bit of a merchant, but that's okay as long as he's scoring.
You need some of
whatever.
those sometimes, you know.
Yeah, he definitely needs to be better. So far, past week he's been better. And that's good.
Just a side note
I-
here. What is this grandma's bedroom setup you've got going on here? Like I can tell
I'm
those
at
are your
my
grandma's
mom's.
sheets. I knew it. I knew it.
Well, obviously I'm not at my other place because my background would be the Canucks goon cave.
You've got grandma sheets. I just outed you. Everyone knows.
They're really soft. This didn't add anything to the episode, actually.
That's the best sleep you'll ever have.
No, there's a like the foam memory foam thing, the layer, which is why I'm kind of falling off the edge of this right now. So I'm
I
gonna have to
see.
keep on like doing this so that I don't fall off.
Nice.
You fell off though.
Oh,
You fell off.
yeah. I know. I know. Anyways, back to the
Canucks
Canucks.
are pretty average.
Yeah.
You know, Canucks and Oilers, we're currently at the same exact point percentage. It is
Yeah.
500. We're not
We
great.
we can talk about that. I mean, okay. Let's frame it this way. If you're a Canucks fan right now, I mean, it's kind of like the Panthers where it's like, what injury is just going to happen next? And when you're 500, when your entire team is out, it's just like, whatever. Like, I can sense the vibes in the Canucks fandom right now. It's just like helpless. And they're not, whenever they lose, it's not like, oh man, the team like sucks. And like, we're doomed. It's like, well, they're missing everyone. So more or less, they are missing everyone. So I completely understand. Having 8-1 with all the guys that they have out, even if they're not like necessarily like a Quinn Hughes is out for like a month at a time, like the other guys, you're still missing a lot of the team. And when you miss a lot of that middle six, I mean, just look at their daily faceoff right now, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But the Oilers, they're only really missing Zach Hyman, and they get Matthias Janmark back. Who cares? Like, he's not good. I have never seen. Okay, it's hard to think of yourself as a rational person in this world and genuinely think that you are like the main character. But I honestly believe that the Oilers are the main character of this National Hockey League in 2025-26. Would you not agree with that?
I guess I kind of do, but I think it's still Florida.
Well, they
main characters.
won, but like the thing, if Florida wins again, it's kind of like, oh, like they're good, and it's whatever. We're kind of tired of seeing Florida win. But if the Oilers win the cup, that's like probably the biggest thing that can possibly happen. Inside of like teams that have a legitimate chance to win the cup at least. Like if Chicago wins the cup, of course that'd be insane. Nice. I don't like Chihuahuas or whatever that goblin thing is. For people who are just listening to this, that he has the most ugly dog you've ever seen in his hand. All right, thanks for distracting me. Back to the
It is a
Oilers'
big
misery.
deal. If Edmonton wins, it's a big deal, but they're not the main characters right now. I think you have main character syndrome. I think that's what that is.
I think the main characters of like the first couple months are probably the Ducks or Hawks, like or maybe even the Sharks. Probably the Sharks right now, just because of how much Celebrini and Smith kind of their personalities take over.
Yeah, the Ducks or the Hawks too.
I'm shutting it off. I'm shutting it off. Okay, but
No, the Ducks are crazy. We'll get into that.
oh yeah, we got
have
lots to talk
the Ducks
about
at
with
some
the young
point.
guys. We got lots to talk about there. But with the Edmonton Oilers, I'm telling you, I cannot get away from people just chipping in with their opinion on the Oilers. I'm in Edmonton, but I'm telling you, on the street, on the bus, on the train, all I hear is opinions on the Oilers. And 90% of the time, they are the stupidest thing ever. You go on Twitter, oh, the Oilers are really missing like, Evander Kane, and Trent Frederick's contract sucks, and Bouchard is terrible, and News.
Have Evander came back if you want.
No. People, really, I am nowhere even close to the person that's like watched this Oilers team the longest. I've only watched Oilers hockey for going on about 10 years now. Been like a real fan of the team for about 10 years. There are people who have watched this team for significantly longer. Now, I've seen every single game in those 10 years. Every 82 game season, I've watched every game, every playoff game. I think I have a pretty good idea of what the issues with this team are. And I think most people understand it as well, but they keep going for these cheap cop-outs. They keep finding super complicated answers for a very, very simple problem. And if you just talk to someone who knows hockey for a moment, and I'm not talking about these like TV analysts, they'll sit there and they'll break down Bouchard's game, they'll break down Nurse's game. Oh, Ekholm was falling off. Oh, McDavid and Draisaitl, they need to put in more effort. There is nothing else genuinely wrong with this roster, like the actual skating roster of the team, besides Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard. It's not Calvin Pickard's fault because he is an AHL goalie. He only came up because Jack Campbell's horrible contract needed to be buried in the NHL, in the AHL, and he was doing terrible 2 years ago. He's gone. He's on. Where is he? Like Grand Rapids. So he's not good anymore. Yeah. Calvin Pickard is just as bad as Jack Campbell was at that point, but we're paying him enough that he can be buried in the AHL whenever he needs to. Stuart Skinner was a third-round pick. He had one good year where he played 50 games for the Oilers, and then he sucked in the playoffs, and he sucked every single time since then. He has some good games. He basically single-handedly destroys the Stars every playoffs in the conference finals, and that's pretty important. I would pay him $2.5 million just for that performance in the conference finals. But in the regular season and in the other rest of the playoffs, when we go on to the Panthers, he has always consistently sunk us. There is nothing wrong with the Oilers roster besides the goaltending. Absolutely nothing. You can talk about, oh, they need more depth scoring, or, oh, maybe like you can have a better defenseman in the top four than Nurse. All of those things completely disappear and are not even worthy of talking about if they just have a legitimate starting goaltender. Now, there's not too many of those in the league. Right now, I heard a radio hit on NHL Network how just goaltending seems so much worse. And that's partly true, but were goalies on the market this offseason, a month ago, that were way, way better options than Stuart Skinner back then, and they still are. Alex Lyon, Spencer Knight. These guys are cheap. They came at a cost of absolutely nothing. John Gibson went for like a second-round pick, and all it took was just taking on his cap hit, which the Oilers could absolutely do if they just moved out one contract. Now, I want like a legitimate... Sealoves! Thank you. Exactly. I'm going insane here. Now, Oilers management under Bowman, I said it before, they basically haven't actually made a bad move. The only bad move they've made is not making a move for a goalie, and that's a pretty bad move to have. I can totally understand sticking with Stuart Skinner because he's a hometown boy. He's not really paid anything. The biggest reason they moved on from Jack Campbell wasn't because he sucked, but because he was making $5 million and his buyout was basically free, and they could move on from him for whatever. That's not the case with Skinner. He makes about what you expect a 1B tandem goaltender to make, which is in reality what he is. Like, it's not Skinner's fault that he's being asked to do this. It's management's fault for not grabbing a legit goaltender. And it just infuriates me because now you're in the season, and I realistically cannot expect Bowman and team to get a legit goalie that's going to carry this team to a Stanley Cup right now. I don't think it can really happen until January, February, when it's really clear where teams stand. If you see like a Boston or an Islanders or even like a Buffalo to give us like a UPL, those guys are not willing to sell until like a month from the deadline, like January, February. So nothing's going to happen right now.
I'm sorry, are you still thinking that there's a chance you can get Jeremy Swayman?
No, I don't think there is.
Okay, cool. Good. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page on that.
No, Boston's not going to suck bad. But that's what I'm talking about. There's no team that sucks bad enough right now that they're willing to let go of their goalie. There was, in the offseason, the Ducks let John Gibson go for a second-round pick, and he's looking pretty good right now. And that's not aiming for the Stars here to get John Gibson. But they don't need a legit elite goaltender. They just need a John Gibson. They just need an Alex Lyon. Now, Alex Lyon's not fully proven, but just be smart. They've been so smart with grabbing young guys on defense and on forward. Like they got Emberson for not even for free. They got rid of Cece along with getting Emberson, and he's been good. They got Podkolzin for free. They got Savoy for the price of a Ryan McLeod. They got Ike Howard, and they're like, I wish Knobloch would play those guys, but they're performing all right. They move the window. They open the window a little larger. Why can't they do that with goalie? Why are they so set with having the by far probably the worst goaltending situation in the league? And I'll say this: can you honestly tell me that Matt Tompkins and Connor Ingram just swap the AHL and the NHL goaltending that they have right now? Can we honestly say that that's worse than what they have right now?
I feel like at some point, surely Ingram will get a chance in the NHL. I don't know how he's been performing in the AHL, but
He hasn't been that good in the AHL, I must say.
I figured, yeah. But surely at some point they're like, okay, well, let's just give this guy a try. And then he'll be bad too, and then it's like you're screwed.
Now, I talk about goaltending like that, and I really ripped into it, but the team is genuinely playing bad. Don't get me wrong, like they are genuinely playing bad, and they deserve their record. They deserve to be 6-10. This team usually, I talk about the analytics a lot. The Oilers do very well in like expected goals, high danger chances. This year, they're middle of the pack. Last year, they were first, second, third in basically every single stat you could imagine. People talk about the defense. The Oilers ranked like first in the league at preventing high danger chances last year. So very clearly that's not the issue. And this is the exact same blue line minus Cody Ceci and Vincent Desharnais that took them to back-to-back Stanley Cups. Whatever your thoughts are on this team, you cannot genuinely take an analysis of this team and look at that blue line and tell me, oh yeah, well that's the reason that they're losing. No. I guarantee you it is because they're quitting on the goaltending. You can see it in the heart of this team. McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard, to an extent Nurse and Ekholm, are all playing significantly worse than last year. Not because they just inherently suck, and they're quitting on the team. They're quitting on the team, and that's a problem. That's a problem. However, it's because of the goaltending. Yes?
I think Nurse inherently sucks.
Nurse will never live up to his contract, and that's a big problem because he has a no-move clause.
I don't think he's worth $4 million.
Oh, well, you're just not this year. No,
he's worth half his contract.
I don't think he's even worth league minimum this year. If I have to watch him take a floater from the wrist,
this year definitely not.
If I have to watch him take a floater snapshot from the point again this year, I'm going to go insane. You can probably already hear it. I am insane.
Yeah, I'm noticing. I think you already were, though.
But Nurse at times has looked like he can be a top pair guy, even in the playoffs where he hasn't like particularly excelled. He hasn't shown that one bit this year. And that's my main thing here, is it's not one guy. Outside of the goaltending, there is nothing really bad about the skating roster. If you just imagine that Hyman and Nugent Hopkins is out for a week now, so it's only getting worse. If you just imagine you plug in Hyman, this roster can be conceived as better than last year, assuming that like Savoy and Howard and Mangiapane, they do their jobs, which I think they have done so far. But it's everybody. It's not that, Victor Arvidsson and Jeff Skinner, they were really the glue holding this team. Evander Kane was the glue. Corey Perry was the glue. I miss Corey Perry. He's a point per game in 11 games. He's pretty good.
It's crazy. 7 goals.
Corey Perry was the glue holding this team together. Are you insane? I've heard people genuinely giving that take.
Corey Perry might have been.
I mean, they haven't made the finals without Corey Perry on the roster. No.
He does. He's point per game. He's over point per game. He could have been the glue.
I will say, out of the departures that have been made throughout the last 2 years, not including Holloway, but including Broberg, Perry is by far the biggest loss. But he's also the most replaceable because he really was not a big factor in the first finals run. Like he actually was scratched quite a bit in the finals and was a bit of a liability otherwise. But last year's run, he was absolutely crucial. Like the amount of clutch goals that he scored was just off the charts, and he was genuinely playing amazing in his agitator role. But you don't need specific gritty guys to fill that role. That is probably the worst narrative that a hockey fan can have is, "Oh, we don't have enough grit on this team. We need to trade for X." You don't have grit on your team because that's a team issue. Just trading for one guy or having or signing one guy doesn't change that one bit. If you actually pay attention to what your team is doing, you'd understand that. And if just watch hockey, watch a few other teams, you'll understand that. It's not a single guy that carries that culture.
Yeah, a grit is also a big thing with the Canucks right now because Evander Kane doesn't fight. Elias Pettersson got hit up high by Matthew Olivier on Saturday, like into the boards, and nobody did anything about it.
That's another thing,
And
yeah.
they brought in Kane to make them less soft, and I think they're more soft actually than they were last year.
They're afraid.
It's interesting.
I it's just November, October, there's some small sample sizes. I think to some extent even the casual hockey fan understands that. They know that if a team like the Blackhawks goes like 4-0 to start the season, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win the President's Trophy. But now that it's November, the real bad takes come out to play. The real bad takes. You know what I saw under a post yesterday? And I've been raving about this in the comments, and it honestly annoyed me. Usually an Instagram comment does not get to me, but someone under the post where it was McDavid and Bouchard having like an exchange in practice, which I love, by the way. McDavid needs to be absolutely ripping into these guys. Even though he also has sucked, he needs to be the guy to lead the pack, and it looks like that's what's going on. Someone said, "Oh yeah, Bouchard is joining Hellebuck as the worst playoff fall-off guys in the league." Have you ever watched hockey? Do you know
right?
what a puck is?
That's got to be a troll comment.
It wasn't a troll. He was serious. He was defending it. He was a Jets fan.
Okay, but that could still be a troll.
I can usually, I don't know. Maybe I got completely rage baited, and I probably did, considering I am still seething mad about it. But there were other people like actually convinced of that. Like, if there is one guy in the league who is not a playoff choker, it's Evan Bouchard.
Yeah, because he sucks in the regular season. How can he drop off from being as bad as he is, as awful as he's playing?
I gotta give it to Bouchard. He has really cleaned it up in the last couple weeks. I think he probably bottomed out in that Islanders game where, I mean, he was walking around the ice. He literally didn't look like he even showed up to work that day. It looked like he still had his pajamas on and he was just sleeping the whole game. That was really bad. Since then, he's totally cleaned it up. He's like had to box out a few guys, and he's missed some assignments, but that's just typical Bouchard stuff. He can get away with that because now he is legit scoring and making some pretty insane breakout passes like he usually does. But defensively, he has also cleaned up lately. So ironically, he's no longer really the issue with this team, whereas in the first few weeks, that was absolutely the issue. And it's just so strange. It's so strange. Because those first two games against the Flames and the Canucks, they were absolutely dominant. And since then, and they lost one of those games. But I came away from that game knowing, okay, they played dominant Oilers hockey. We lost in a shootout, like whatever. But we lose in a shootout to the Stars, and it's the complete opposite feeling. Like we deserve to lose that game because we got totally outshot. We got totally outplayed in the third and second period. And they just kind of gave up. And again, I'll harken back to the goaltending. Watch the first 10 minutes of this Columbus Oilers game. We're going to lose. Nugent Hopkins is out and Skinner's is starting. It's a recipe for disaster. But even if we win, watch the Oilers' response after Skinner lets in a goal, if he does. And if he doesn't in this game, you'll see it next game. Just watch for that response after the Skinner lets in a goal. They sag so much, and that is a team issue. That's not just goaltending, but man, if Skinner was my goaltender and I was supposed to win the cup this year, I would do the same.
Well, you're a quitter. I think JT Miller would be good on your team. JT Quitter.
I just want a goalie.
Are you
man.
done with the Oilers now? Or can we get past that?
I think I got it out of my system.
So how about them 11-3-1 7-game win streak Anaheim Ducks? What is happening there?
How about him?
Leo Carlson's a god.
Yep. That power play, Cutter Gauthier, does he lead the league in goals still? He was absolutely
McKinnon.
insane. Oh yeah, McKinnon had the stat pad weekend of all time.
Yeah, he scored 2 on us early and then got like a bunch of secondaries. He got a 5-point game on us, and one of his assists, he was off the ice for like 15 whole seconds
That's
before the puck went in.
ridiculous. Breakers said a couple days ago in that 9-1 game against Edmonton that there's no player in the league like McKinnon when he wants the stat pad, and it's just it's
Cutter
it's
is
funny.
tied for third behind McKinnon and Caulfield, tied with Crosby, Horvat, and Geeky. I had to say that because shout out Bo Horvat. And Carlson is right behind with 10.
They
Carlson
are
is also,
legitimately one of the best offensive teams in the league right now.
Carlson is tied for second in points with Bedard, which is cool, at 25.
Nice.
McKinnon's kind of ruining everything up there because after
Yeah.
McKinnon, it's Carlson, Bedard, Celebrini, and that would be way cooler as a top 3. McKinnon hates fun.
Oh,
basically.
You know what's fun? You know what's actually great about this? If you look at the draft position of all of the top point getters, McKinnon, he went first overall, 2014. Leo Carlson, second overall, that was 23. Bedard, first overall, 23. Celebrini, first overall, 24. Nylander, what was he, like 7th overall, 2014. Kaprizov, somewhere in the 5th round. Jack Eichel, 2nd overall. Makar, 4th. McDavid, 4th. Scheifele, 5th. Tavares, 1st. Malkin, 2nd. Crosby, 1st. Tanking works, friends. It works.
Yeah. Well, that could actually bring us to a good point about the Canucks, which is it's been talked about a lot. Should they just commit to a rebuild?
I am always all for tearing it down and just tanking for a number 1 pick because, as you'll see, if the Hawks don't have Bedard right now, let's say they just got 3rd overall and they have Fantilli right now, they're still 32nd and it wouldn't even be close. They'd be by far the worst team in the league. They're not even that amazing right now, despite the record. They're going to fall off with Bedard. Same goes for even the Ducks, who got 2nd overall. They still haven't gotten a 1st overall pick. But because they tanked, they got a lot of high picks. And, I mean, it's showing now. It's working.
This is what I think when it comes to the Canucks. Because we're like just out of the bottom 10. I think we're 11th last, which if we're in that bottom 11, we have a chance at 1st overall. My thoughts are, if they end up bottom 11 and they magically win 1st overall and get Gavin McKenna, that's the exact moment when you trade Quinn Hughes and start over because you want to build around McKenna for the future. That's my thought. And it's a long shot because the Canucks have never won a lottery ever. There was one year, their first year in existence, the lottery was literally between them and Buffalo for both the expansion draft and the entry draft, and Buffalo won both. So the Canucks have never won a lottery. Maybe they're due. They've only had the 1st overall pick one time, and they didn't even use it. They traded it, and it ended up getting us the Sedins, so worth it. But if this is the time where all of the bad luck results in something good, and you get Gavin McKenna, just get rid of Hughes. Start over.
There's a few things here. First order of business, if you're looking to tank and you want to get the 1st over pick, you call Carolina. Taylor Hall is available. He only makes about $3 million, so he'll be cheap, and he will guarantee you the 1st overall pick. That's a rule. That's a rule.
And after that empty net that he missed a couple days ago, maybe Carolina doesn't want him as much anymore.
Yeah, why do they even need Taylor Hall? They're so greedy. They don't need him. Yeah, send him to Vancouver. Send him to Vancouver. He's from BC too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean,
that's a lie. He's from Calgary.
Cooler former Oiler to have than Evander Kane, so I'd be cool with it.
They both suck. Is the issue.
They do both suck, but at least Taylor Hall seems like a cool guy.
So if you look at the ages of the Canucks, like the Canucks core roster right now, I don't think you can really justify going into a rebuild and trading Pedersen. I just his money wouldn't really be an issue if you rebuilt, and you need someone for the kids to learn from. Yeah. They already have a little bit of an established prospect pool. Yeah, exactly. You're not getting anything for him. There's no point. You could probably move on. You'd move on from Garland. Probably move on from Besser, Myers, Pedersen. Like those, Marcus Pedersen. Obviously, those are Hronek.
Say would they just let Myers' contract run out because it runs out at the end of next year? Keep him around for that. I wonder how much longer Myers has in the league. He hasn't been good this year, so I'm worried that we're in the twilight years.
Probably.
I do wonder because they've signed Garland long term, they've signed Besser long term, they've signed DeBrusque long term. How many of those guys are going to want to be out?
I mean, I don't know their specific contract situations if they have no trade clauses, but I think if you went to them and said, we're going to stink, we're going to rebuild, probably half of them would waive.
I don't care about no movement clauses when it comes to the Canucks because every time they give one out, they just trade the person anyway, and the person waives the clause. I don't know if they bully them into it or if the person just really wants to leave, but it happened with Kuzmenko, it happened with Susi, and it happened with Miller. If they want this guy out, he's going to be out.
Susi had a no movement clause?
Yeah. I think it was a partial team, but I think he had to waive it to go to the Rangers.
I mean,
he was really... Susi was really, really good in 23-24. We forget about how good Susi was in 23-24. He earned that contract for that year, but oh my goodness, last season he did not earn that contract.
He was sought after once upon a time, I gotta say.
Yeah.
But, I mean, okay. Of all those guys, I'll include Demko in that because he's 27, 28. Like he wouldn't line up with a potential 4 or 5 year rebuild plan. He'd be like in his early 30s by the time it starts, and then he's only got a few more years being legit good. That's probably your biggest asset in a rebuild, especially in such a dry goalie market, is even letting an injured Demko go.
Yeah, he re-signed for another 3 years after this year. I'm pretty sure he's currently 29. So, and Lankinen is also around for a while. They've put themselves into a weird spot.
They're not really in a spot where they can rebuild. It would look really weird if they sign all these guys to long-term deals. You know, you lock up Besser after such an arduous kind of bargaining process with him, and we're gonna pack up shop and here you go to Pittsburgh for a second-round pick. You know, it wouldn't really look good on the ownership, obviously, but for me, it is the right decision.
I mean, it's just sad to be talking about this because, like, when we were healthy, we were 4-2. And now we're just not healthy, and we're still playing well in a lot of these games recently, just not getting the wins out of them. Imagine if you have like a Philip Hedl in the lineup, Jonathan Lecker-Mackey in the lineup, Niels Höglander, Teddy Bluger. Like these are important pieces to the team. Reichel is playing 10 minutes a game. The bottom line's playing 10 minutes a game. The team doesn't trust them. If you replace those guys with the guys who are currently injured for us, like this team's definitely over 500 in that case. Especially with Höglander. Höglander, I feel, was definitely going to have a bounce back year. His numbers at 5-on-5 last year were so good, and he was just not getting rewarded for it a lot. I think he was going to have a big bounce back, and then he got injured in preseason, and now he's not back for another couple weeks. And I mean, it's tough. Like without injuries, this is a good team. With injuries, we're talking, should they just rebuild?
If these injuries keep up, I think you have to at least look at like a retool situation where you trade your expiring contracts and you let the kids play. You let Lecker-Mackey play on the 17 minutes a night for 40 games, and you just give him the reins and you say, there you go, have it. But
we don't even have like many expiring contracts though. It's like Kane and Bluger. What are we gonna get from that?
Yeah, maybe some mid-round picks, but.
Maybe.
Or maybe just the aging guys in general. You don't want to let go of Myers because he is like legit. He's having a decent. He's had a decent couple seasons since he came off that ridiculous contract.
But he's a good leader. I feel like Myers is a good guy to keep around for the young guys.
But It goes from retool to rebuild if you check in on Quinn Hughes, and it already looks like it's in this direction, and he genuinely does not look like he wants to leave. I think you want an answer by July 1st of this year.
Yeah.
And if his answer is not at least, I'm probably going to sign, if it's not like a 75% confidence or anything over that, I think you move on from him. You get the biggest possible price. Like, that would be one of the biggest trades in modern history. You get whatever you get for him. You get whatever you get for Besser. You get whatever you get for Demko, and you move on and say, this is Pettersson's team. Kids, step in.
It's kind of a little bit sad, though, because if we do start testing the market on Hughes, then people will know that he's not signing with us. So we don't have any leverage. And we didn't have any leverage in the Miller deal either. We probably could have gotten a better haul than we did. I'm happy that we got what we did, honestly. With Hughes, I mean, I've looked at the Devils, because like if we're trading him, Devils would be the top team on that, I would think. And like, what do I want from the Devils? I mean, youth. I see Dougie Hamilton in so many of those mock trades, and I think that's a fine piece to.
If you're going into a rebuild, that makes no sense. It would start with
but it's a piece that you can flip for something else down the road. Like, let him play half a season with you, and then
I see that. Yeah,
I know the opinions on him. This is a very polarizing player, but Simone Nemeth, I think, is a guy who I would want to see coming back to Vancouver in a trade like that. I don't know if he'll ever be a second overall type player, but he's a young defenseman who, I mean, we have a good young defense core already. That would just add to it. And then someone like Dawson Mercer, I'd say, some picks. I really don't know what the package could look like, because I don't know, like, if New Jersey's thinking we can get this guy in 1 year, how much would they even be willing to give up in the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I would say you look at probably the Tkachuk trade and what they got there. They got another top player, but obviously not as good as Tkachuk. And I mean, it didn't work out because Huberdeau fell off a cliff after that trade. But you can see what they're trying to do. They were trying to recoup that, and then also some picks, and then also a prospect. I imagine it would look something like that, where they get a top player back, like a top 50 player, probably around the same age as Quinn Hughes.
Meyer?
Kind of similar to that. Well, I mean, actually, that's a good point, because what did Meyer go for? He went for like a first-round pick. He went for Fabian Zetterlund, and then like 50 different prospects. I don't know if it would be that large of a deal, but that was more of a volume than a quality deal. And I mean, the Devils' first-round pick didn't end up being anything anyways. So you're not going to win a Quinn Hughes trade, but you have to get something for him if he's not going to stay.
Well, I mean, that's what I thought about the Miller trade, too. Like, I knew if we're trading this guy at this point, like, what are people going to offer us? They know that we just want him gone. And I mean, I was happy to get what we got. Like, if Hedl were healthy, him, Mancini, and that first that we then flipped for Marcus Pettersson, like, that is a good trade for us, I would say. Just unfortunate how it's worked out with Hedl. There's still a way for the Canucks to get very good value out of this. But I don't know. I mean, I'd rather keep him. I'd rather us be just in a position to contend. We'll see. It's too early to sound the alarms, I'd say, but it is fun to daydream and talk about this.
These are early talks. You have to understand that when you're going into a rebuild, you can't completely tear it down. Otherwise, you're leaving young guys with nobody to learn from. Like you said, like keep Meyer, help him teach some of the young D. They already have the young D kind of sorted out. I feel like that wouldn't really be an issue. Verlander he's looking great. Mancini, maybe he can step in. He's an older guy, but he can probably step in and play a real role.
He's not that old.
If you ended up, what is he, like 24?
He's like 22.
Oh. I don't know why I imagine him to be like 24, 25.
I'll check it. I swear he's younger. He's got to be younger than 24.
But you get what I mean. Like, they have guys who can step in and play that role. But on
Elias
forward,
Pettersson also. And Kirill Kudryavtsev. He's awesome. Yeah, Mancini's 23, so right in the middle of us.
Ooh, okay. So I was terribly wrong. My bad.
You said older guy, and I'm thinking like he's not really old. He's 23.
I think the path to follow here, because a rebuild looks different in every single era. Before, you used to be able to actually totally tear it down. And, I mean, if you look at the Penguins rebuild from like 2002 to 2005, they literally traded everybody. And then they suddenly traded all those young guys for legit veterans, and it worked. If you look at a modern rebuild, you look at the Ducks, they took probably a couple years longer than I think they've wanted to take. The Sharks are probably about right on time of being kind of a playoff bubble team now. 5 years after they were contending, which is that's the timeline. You want to be back in the playoffs 5 or 6 years after you completely tear it down. But that's a long time, and that's an optimal rebuild. If you fail that once, if you don't draft the right guys, you end up looking like the Detroit Red Wings, who still don't look good. They still don't look good. They're 10 years out of the playoffs.
Yeah, and they have really looked bad recently.
It's scary.
Although they deserved better from the game yesterday. Why did Arvid Soderblom decide to be good?
That was bad. That was when you run into a hot Arvid Soderblom, it's not a good day for you.
You know, the interesting thing, it was Elmer Soderblom versus Arvid Soderblom. I remember John Shorthouse saying this on the broadcast once. They are brothers, but their names are pronounced differently. Their last names, like Arvid Soderblom, Elmer Soderblom. Yeah, I don't know why it's like that, but that's what Shorthouse said. This is straight from Shorthouse, the man. So I don't know why they would do that. It's like weird. Let's see, who it was shit. Why am I forgetting his? Oh, Liljegren. Like he just decided to change his name at one point.
He changes his name every other week.
And then Max Sasson is Sasson now, which I think he's trolling, and it's really messing me up. Yeah, he's American. Like, why is it Sasson? That's not. He's got to be trolling. There's no way. His name has to be pronounced Sasson. I'm not falling for it.
Yeah, who knows? These guys.
Anyway,
they talk to the commentators.
That was a little bit of a. I took a detour there because the Arvid Soderblom, Elmer Soderblom thing really trips me up.
What were we talking about? We were talking about how bad the Detroit Red Wings messed up their rebuild.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the Red Wings, even though they kind of meandered through all those draft picks, they spent like a 9th overall pick on Michael Rasmussen in 2017, 2018, like Joe Velino. I mean, they got Seider 2019. Yeah, Danielson. They haven't really picked a lot of bangers in their. They've really missed on all of their top picks besides Raymond. Is what that is. But
I don't think Seider's a miss.
Well, Seider and Raymond, but that's like 2 for 10 in their rebuild. I guess you could include Larkin in 2014. No, not really.
You don't think Kasper's good?
He has. You want to check his stat line? He has 3 goals in 16 games this year.
Okay, well, I mean, he was good last year. Maybe he's just maybe it's a dry spell. I think he's a good player.
But my point is, he's not a game changer. The only game changers they took are Raymond and Seider, and I honestly don't think of Raymond as a game changer. I think of him as a top line forward.
So good. He's an 80-point player.
That's not.
He definitely changes the game for them. He has,
but he's not. He's really bad defensively. So if you're going to be just a point per game player and bad defensively, you're not a game changer. You're not a superstar.
Well, the superstar, I feel, has been used as too large of an umbrella term. But that's a rant for a different day.
You know what? That brings us right back to the discussion of tanking. Because although the Detroit Red Wings have finished last multiple times, the best they've done is the 4th overall pick, and they messed it up whenever it never went well for them. Well, I mean, they got Raymond with the 4th overall pick, but that's besides the point. They don't have a 1st overall pick, and the top of their lineup just isn't really there. It's not really there. It doesn't look like a potential Stanley Cup winning roster. Like, you can have point per game forwards like Florida does. Florida has a bunch of point per game guys on their top line, but they're all literally the best in the league defensively. Reinhart, Barkov, Kachuk. Detroit has guys who score similarly, but are awful defensively. Dylan Larkin, Lucas Raymond. They got Patrick Kane now. Everyone knows he's not exactly the best guy in his defensive zone. But you see what I mean? They need to get those guys in order to come out of a rebuild strong and confident and contend for a long time like you want to in a contention cycle. Have your window open for 10 years. And I say this as an Oilers fan. Obviously, I'm blessed with like the best offensive talent of the generation. But the Sharks and Ducks, I think you know that they're going to be good out of this rebuild because they have legit top-line forwards. Leo Carlson, he's not going to score 100 points like he's on pace for now, but I think you could foresee a day when he scores 100 points. I don't think I can imagine a day where Dylan Larkin or Lucas Raymond score 100 points and have the same kind of impact that a Carlson or Bedard or Celebrini has. And it's kind of unfair to the Red Wings because they probably should have had a Jack Hughes. They finished last that year. And that probably would have changed how they go. But the Devils, again, that's another good example. They got Jack Hughes, and now they legit look like an okay team in spite of all their like injuries like the Canucks.
Oh, we have Quinn Hughes, and we suck, so maybe sometimes that's not...
And Pedersen. The Canucks are almost the complete opposite of the Detroit Red Wings in that, but they were trying to be good, and they hit on like all of their first round picks after 2016, I'd say.
There are a lot of random things happening with the Canucks in the first round in the 2010s, because it was Bo Horvat 2013, Jake Virtanen in 2014, also Jared McCann. McCann was cool. He didn't play for us for long, though. Brock Besser 2015, Yolevi 2016, Pedersen 2017, Hughes 2018, and then Podkolzin 2019. That's a mess.
That is a complete mess. That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
I think we're screwed. I think we're so bad. None of our analytics look good, and like I'm supposed to like Kevin Lankinen now, apparently. I got ratioed in my own YouTube comment section because I don't like Kevin Lankinen. I don't like Kevin Lankinen making $4.5 million for 5 years.
It won't matter now if we go into a rebuild. Who cares about the money?
Well, I think Alvin basically shot that down anyway. He was on After Hours on Saturday. He was asked about it, and he said, I don't think you can really go into a rebuild with players like Besser, Hughes, and Pedersen on your team. You got to still try. I don't know. Maybe they'll try it until Quinn leaves, and then from there they'll commit to the rebuild. I don't know.
If this is a significantly worse situation than what the Islanders were doing, because the Islanders genuinely sucked for the longest time, and then Tavares didn't tell them that he wanted to leave. He said that, oh yeah, don't trade me. It'll be okay. I'll stay. If that happens with the Canucks, it is so much worse. It is so much worse.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully he's really clear next summer so he can either sign a contract or we can get something out of it.
This was a really depressing episode.
I wonder who the captain would be after Quinn. I feel like it's got to be Brock. No way you can make it Pedersen.
No way it's Pedersen. No possible way, no.
Maybe Myers for fun.
I'd give it to Myers. He'd be
I don't
gone
think
in
I
a
would
year
because
too.
I don't he's not going to be on the team for much longer. I would say Besser. I think Besser's the guy.
Him or Garland?
I would not want it to be Garland.
Why not? Too short?
Well, see, he's not that good.
He's okay.
And
he's okay.
I don't know if I want him to be the face of the franchise.
Yeah, if Connor Garland is, that's probably the worst captain in the league. I'm not super up to date on every single team's captain, but I think we can confidently say that would be it.
Garland fills a role and all, but I like that he doesn't have a letter on his chest because he's more of a grinder on the ice. He's not.
He's just.
I don't really see him as a leader. I miss Bo.
He would have been the perfect captain, wouldn't he?
He would have been the perfect center to fill in that second line center gap instead of Lucas Reichel.
Dude, when I think back to it, did they want to go in a rebuild or not? Because if you think you're going to be good, just pay Bo Horvat the like $9 million he wanted. Like,
yeah, but I also think, I don't think it was gonna fit. It was either him or Miller, and that was the time where Miller prevailed, which seemed like a good idea because he's a lot better of a scorer than Bo in terms of points, but in terms of personality, I would say Bo has the upper hand.
This league
and this season, very clearly, Bo is better scoring. But
easily
in 23-24, it looked like they made the right choice. Miller had 103 points. Bo had like upper 60s.
This league moves really fast. One day you've got Elias Pettersson and Bo Horvat and JT Miller. And a couple years later, do you even have Elias Pettersson?
Yeah, I mean, I assume. I don't think he's waiving his clause ever. I think he's
check the news. Check the news. He's gone.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's not as good as what my point was. Like all three of those guys.
That's not Lindholm. I liked Lindholm. I don't think I wanted to pay Lindholm any money at all.
See, you're crazy for that though, because he sucked. He sucked.
I liked him as well. He was really good in the playoffs for us.
Yeah, he had a couple good moments.
Well, he had the best Canucks playoff moment in the past 14 years.
I laughed when I saw the trade package for him, though. I can't lie. I was like, I knew that was going to completely screw them over.
I don't know why people think it's that bad. Kuzmenko wasn't working with us. Hunter Brustevich wasn't going to sign with us. I think we gave up. Is that the trade we gave up Yoni Yermo in? I don't know. He sucks.
I don't think so.
It was a big package, but like, I don't know. The first is really the only thing. And who did they take with that first?
I want to say that was Hanzek. No. That wasn't Hanzek. If it was,
it was Matvei Gridin. Right? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's played like a couple games for them.
Gridin looks
I don't know.
Good.
Like, that's just a good rental. I think it was a worthy rental if Besser were healthy during Game 7. But Lindholm did his part in the playoffs. I think that sometimes, they were in a position where they could have won it all. They looked like a good team. They had to get someone good, and Lindholm did his part. Not in the regular season. Lindholm wasn't good for us in the regular season. But in the playoffs, he was very good. And we needed a guy who could win faceoffs like that. And he could win faceoffs. And I'd love a guy who could win faceoffs now besides Atu Ratu.
I mean, I think they definitely avoided the worst case scenario, which would have been like Kuzmenko regaining form on the Flames and being a 60-30 goal guy, not 60 point and 30 goal guy, and that first turning into someone insane. Gridin, I think, will be a top 6 forward, and that will hurt, but not as much as if it turns into like a legit top line forward that's better than Lindholm. And yeah, I mean, the minor pieces they gave up as well. Brzezovich, he doesn't look like he's going to make the NHL. So they really dodged a bullet there. Probably made some good judgment on the pieces they were giving up.
Quite simply, Brustevich wasn't going to sign with the Canucks. So that literally does not mean anything to me at all.
That too.
Yeah. Whatever. It's whatever. You know how many faceoffs Elias Pettersson took yesterday?
22.
28.
Oh.
That's
a lot.
He's taken the second most faceoffs in the league so far this season after Ulrich Snack.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know why he's not good. He's at 47%. He's been a lot in the past couple of weeks. He's been a lot better. He was good yesterday. He won like 62% of the 28 he took. So he's been a lot better recently, but it's kind of funny that he's taken that many faceoffs, especially when you have Atu Ratu who can probably take them.
Yeah. He's not much of a face-off guy, is he, at all? I don't think he ever has been.
No, he's not. I mean, he messed up his wrist, too. He's just been worse since that, but he's getting better. Anyway, I have one more thing to say on this podcast. We were talking about it in the group chat earlier. Atu Ratu for Team Finland Olympic roster. Make it happen. They have, like, no one. Like, if Eric Holla, deadass, makes the team over Atu Ratu, I'm going to be spreading insane propaganda because Eric Holla sucks.
Eric
and Atu
Holla
Ratu is
propaganda.
fantastic. Atu Ratu is leading all Finns in face-off percentage this year.
Huge.
He serves a purpose.
That has nothing to do with Barkov being out for the year.
Yeah, well, I mean, who cares? He's not going to be at the Olympics, so it
You know what?
counts.
Yeah, you're right. He's not going to be at the Olympics. So you know what? I think I'm here with you. This is going to be your Jesse Puljujärvi.
Although Rupe Hintz is only 0.3 behind him, so
Yeah,
they might
he's
be
pretty
okay in the face-off dot.
Yeah.
But Atu Ratu is a better player than Eric Holla, and Atu Ratu is probably better than Machelli too. And Atu Ratu, well, Oliver Kapanen's pretty good, but I don't know. It's close there. Atu Ratu better get some consideration for that team.
Just an honorable mention from the coach or management.
He is. He needs to be like invited to camp or something like that, or like maybe an injury happens and he's brought on as an extra. Like get him. It's Italy, right? Get Atu Ratu to Italy
That'd be fun.
in some way.
All right, I think we're coming up on an hour. I think that passed by rather quickly. I think is that all you had to say about Atu Ratu?
Yeah, I just wanted to spread more Atu Ratu propaganda at the end there.
All right, we love that. One little last detail on the Oilers. People think it's rock bottom because the McDavid and Draisaitl eye connection on the bench. That gimmick is tired. It is not rock bottom. We've got a rough couple of weeks ahead of us here. You see the schedule? It's not good.
They get
Good luck,
traded to
guys.
Anaheim, little bro.
I would.
They go in Anaheim. And Dreisaitl's a duck.
If I was an Oilers fan right now, if I am an Oilers fan. Stay away from your TV for the month of November.
Connor McDavid's a Blackhawk tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And turn off your social media too.
Evan Bouchard Kunlun.
Goodbye.
Shanghai.
Goodbye. Yeah, it's the
Let's see us
Shanghai
at home.
Dragons now.
Retirement.
Say goodbye.
Stuart Skinner. Switzerland. Goodbye.